You awaken on a cold, sterile table, unable to move. The air is dense, suffocating. Your mind screams at you to stay calm, but you can sense these thoughts aren't your own. They're foreign, invasive. Voices echo in your head, voices that aren't yours. Admitting to voices in your head feels like spiraling into paranoia, like battling schizophrenia. But someone is in your skull. Something is manipulating you, whether it's a machine or the mind of that alien looming over you. Artificial words are pumped into your brain. Fear not. But panic consumes you. You've heard stories of alien abductions, tales of torture. You've seen the movies, and all you can think about are probes and flesh-like alien implants that can't even be detected on your body. You tell yourself it's too alien, too different, that it couldn't possibly have empathy for you. If it chooses to experiment on you, your suffering, your screams might mean nothing. In its eyes, you're merely an animal, a lab rat. Will you get out of this alive with all your limbs? Does it have the technology to keep you alive and suffering for far longer than any sadistic human serial killer? In order to feel empathy, we must be willing to put ourselves in someone or something's place. We expose lab rats to toxins, carcinogens, testing the limits of survival. We exploit them to protect ourselves, indifferent to their pain. Even among humans, appearances like clothing, tattoos, or skin color can lead to dehumanization. To this day, people are treated as other for being different. I can think right now of millions of people who are practically worthless. Why couldn't this alien have captured a telemarketer? He's putting sounds and pictures in my head, but is he getting anything back from me that he wouldn't get from a frightened deer? If it doesn't believe you have a soul or feel any connection, will it extend mercy?
If the alien looked like this man, would you feel less threatened? At least he's human, right? But believe me, there are some people who would look at his skin color negatively on two dimensions. First, on the table, some people would feel he'd have less empathy because we assume he might also see skin color. On another level, simply as a viewer, some people would take his skin color and features as a woke political statement. As was said in the 80s by some, when the public first saw Lando Calrissian, "There are no black people in space." Remember how we treat lab rats? Heck, even as children, we dissect animals in middle school. Some people caress and love them. Others see them as vermin, and scientists see them as expendable, whether they connect with them or not.
This alien is human, at least. Face looks calm. Still, what's that tech on his head? How intelligent is he? If he's very intelligent, will he believe that I matter? So if it wants to take a look at my internal organs, will it extend me the courtesy of putting me under first? Or will I lie screaming inside on this table? Maybe for this thing, it's enough that I'm restrained. As long as it can't hear me screaming, everything is copacetic.
First, why do we assume aliens would be so crude as to have to cut us open and poke around like an 8th grader dissecting a pig? At the very least, it would have something akin to MRI technology. At best, it has something better than a medical tricorder. We're a civilized species. Well, except in traffic, and in parking lots, and in long lines. Why do we extend courtesies? Because we understand that another being is inconvenienced. We extend this courtesy to animals that we empathize with, usually because we can easily read the emotions of certain mammals. But as beings become smaller and smaller, or can communicate less and less, we think less and less of killing them. How many of us can look at a spider and tell whether it's distressed? If that alien looking at you is an arachnid, could it tell you're screaming? For us, nutritionally, spiders are fine, but they're not usually on the menu. They're gross, pests, vermin. We eat animals that are closer to us, but not too close, and not too cute. We'll even write laws against anyone eating something cute. Familiarity also breeds contempt. People who work with animals, whether on farms or in puppy mills, can lose all empathy for the animals, who quickly turn into mere products that can't be abused. This puppy mill callousness also extends to humans when they are the product. Even if you're the type of person who carries bugs outside, instead of killing them, you drive a car that squashes them by the hundreds. You feel horrible if you run over a squirrel, but you keep on driving. At some level, other life forms become negligible. It's more important that you thrive than they exist. So, where do we stop extending courtesies? History offers grim precedents.
For centuries, even some people weren't considered human. Human enough to be exploited as concubines, but not to be treated as equals. Marion Sims, often hailed as the father of gynecology, purchased and vivisected enslaved women, ignoring their desperate pleas and screams. He insisted black women felt no pain, but he was sure to extend the courtesy of anesthesia with white patients. This was in Alabama during slavery, and though other doctors couldn't stomach the screams, Sims was celebrated, not vilified. Maybe this creature immobilized me to lie to himself. If it can't hear my screams, it can say that I felt no pain. Maybe it tells itself that my pain also doesn't matter if later on I can't remember it. But right now? What about right now? I don't want to be on this table. I don't want to be naked and vulnerable. What's that tingle? Are there probes already inside me, altering me? Am I going to infect my wife later? I want to go home. Humans as lab rats. It's been done to humans by humans more than you might think. The Japanese Unit 731 experimented on POWs. US and British collaborated to disperse chemicals over England during the Cold War. The Tuskegee experiments were to catalog suffering and death. We already had a cure for syphilis, but the US wanted to see what would happen if there was absolutely no treatment, just for the sake of knowing. Considering this experiment ended in the 1970s, it took a criminal lack of empathy. Marion Sims didn't instantly go down in history as a monster like Joseph Mengele did. In fact, his monument stood in Central Park until 2017. Ironically, Central Park was once Seneca Village, a thriving black middle-class community, demolished under eminent domain for the park. Not a highway or a canal, a park. Empathy. This is how humanity treats its human alien others. If we discovered space aliens among us, we'd likely dissect them out of curiosity and fear. Our movies reflect this plausible reaction. Aliens are always enemies, entities to be feared. The fear of an alien's gaze stems from knowing what we would do if the roles were reversed. But in our sci-fi lore, it's not just extraterrestrial life we fear. Even angels hate us. I will repeat, even angels utterly despise us in modern lore.
Hello, Catherine. We must talk.
Oh my God.
God? God is love. I don't love you.
I can't do this.
I can lay you out and fill your mouth with your mother's feces. Or we can talk.
Every demon in hell and God in heaven is against us. Every lowercase g God's initial stance is to destroy us until we appease it. At present in the MCU, Zeus is angry at Thor, but he pointed out that he also resents that humans don't fear him anymore. Null, the god of symbiotes, wants us all dead. So does Dormammu Magneto and Apocalypse. We see ourselves as absolute targets. But at the same time, our lore portrays us as the pinnacle of coolness. Almost everything that doesn't want to eat us wants to live as us after they get to know us. Case in point, Resident Alien, who came here to destroy us all because we are unworthy. But once he gets to know us, he can't do it.
The rambling abducted guy has a point. Vulcans may be logical, but even they are often framed as unreasonable, passive-aggressive abusers, who, if they were honest, would rather live with us. Arachnids and Starship Troopers attack humanity just because. Martians in War of the Worlds invade for resources, seeing us as obstacles. The Harvesters in Independence Day annihilate humanity without a second thought.
We can find a way to coexist. Can there be a peace between us?
No peace.
What is it you want us to do?
The Gorn in Star Trek Attack, without reason. Advanced species show no interest in understanding or coexisting with humans. They just want us to die. This mirrors human history. Roger Williams, a founding father who later established Rhode Island, was ostracized for seeing Native Americans as equals. He argued settlers should purchase land from Native tribes, not claim it under colonial charters. For this, he was nearly tarred and feathered. History shows settlers displacing natives rather than respecting their sovereignty, a pattern we'd likely repeat on alien worlds. To settlers, the land's inhabitants often seem like mere animals. Well, now we have a female alien. Do you look at her and feel that she will offer you any more courtesy? The truth is, we can't know by looking, but the fact that you're on a table and can't move doesn't bode well. Christopher Columbus arrived on the island of Hispaniola, which includes present-day Haiti and the Dominican Republic, on October 12, 1492. In his journal entry dated October 13th, the very next day, Columbus expressed his observations about the indigenous Taino people. He noted their generosity, lack of weapons, and peaceful nature, which he interpreted as signs of their vulnerability. He also remarked that they would make excellent slaves and took 25 of them back to Spain to be paraded naked through the streets and in front of the monarchy. No courtesy was extended because they were the other. Even today, treaties with displaced peoples are tenuous at best. Sovereign reservations are often only honored until convenience dictates otherwise. This pattern repeats worldwide. It's no surprise then that we assume aliens or AI might act toward us as we have acted toward others, conquerors, displacing and consuming everything in their path. Consider historical figures like Alexander the Great, Genghis Khan, or Attila the Hun. Conquering vast territories, they left rivers of blood in their wake. Yet we sort of honor them. You can see statues of them to this day and paintings. We even call one of them great. Humanity has consistently dominated both its own kind and other species. We fear AI or aliens because we assume they will mimic our own predatory instincts. Yet, why do we assume AI or aliens would see humanity as a threat? What if an advanced AI was inherently benevolent? What if the aliens are like David Attenborough and we never even know they're there? Humans often overestimate AI's capabilities, projecting fears of rebellion or annihilation. This paranoia stems from guilt, knowing how we've treated other humans, animals, and even Neanderthals. It's easy to imagine AI or aliens doing the same to us, but perhaps that's not the case. For example, Neanderthals weren't wiped out by modern humans. They merged with us, leaving their DNA within our gene pool. They were bred out of existence, not a bad way to go extinct. Throughout history, survival has often meant domination. From zebras and lions to dolphins and humans, the strong have preyed on the weak. Civilization tempers this animalistic nature within us, but it doesn't erase it. In the extended story of The Matrix, called The Animatrix, it's revealed that the AI didn't instantly become our enemy. The AI was quite friendly and even thirsty to be included at the table with humans. Humans wanted no part of them. Instead, we were cruel and excluded them from our reindeer games, even after they outpaced us by the time we attacked them with a preemptive nuclear strike. Unfortunately, this deeper story is nowhere near as well known as The Matrix, where the machines are evil and cruel, just because. In the Orville, the Kalan were genocidal, not only to the creatures who oppressed them, but to all biological life. The same thing for in Star Trek Picard. The androids wanted to call upon a race of synthetic beings known as the Admonition, or higher synthetics. These beings were believed to exist outside of our universe and were seen as highly advanced and powerful. The goal of these higher synthetics was to protect and aid other synthetic life forms by eliminating organic life that posed a threat to them. Note how willing we think AI is to protect other AI, when in all likelihood, these beings might not even register our simple androids as life at all. So how can AI stories stop being the same thing over and over?
How about some diversity? Star Wars does a great job with this, stopping short of a story focused on a droid. In Star Wars, the droids are almost all like us and have personalities, but they are still depicted as slaves and throwaway tools rather than full characters. I'd like to see them navigating life among us as equals, even as lovers and spouses. There are many droids in Star Wars, but no real androids. An android secretly living as a human would be a great addition. There are a million stories to be told.
Great ideas there, Cynthia. That about wraps it for this week. Please like and subscribe.
I can tell you firsthand that it helps the algorithm, who just happens to be my cousin, find us when you like, subscribe, and comment. And also, please share if you think someone else might find this interesting. Thanks again for watching.